Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mi nombre es el papichulo. My name is the Pokemon Professor. I did say Pimp Daddy, and you can call me that, but you can also call me the Pokemon Professor. And this week I'm bringing you playoffs, baby, playoffs. Well, practice, little playoffs, my little Allen Iverson, right? And this week we'll go up against Hacks de CSPs, 6 foot hacks, I think. We do 100% play 6 foot hacks. I left the question mark there for my Spanish translation. Google sometimes just doesn't help a boy out, you know. They don't throw in all the nuances of my Spanglish that I try. But this week we take on the homie Leo, somebody who I just always enjoy interacting with. Truth be told, I played him a couple times years and years ago. I think this was like Sword and Shield, where you still had to like run a program to set the timer or something like that to make it seem like you were in the same room. But I enjoy interacting with him. Dude doesn't pull punches when it comes to jokes. He's got a thick skin, and those are the kind of people I want to surround myself with in life, like in person, but also especially over the internet. I'm vulgar. I fucking like vulgarness, right? I like shit that you kind of wince at. Like, should I watch that? Should I laugh? Growing up, I watched The Ringer a lot with Johnny Knoxville, and I think that just described everything for me. And I just enjoy dude. He's real fun. Going into this match, the one thing I did not enjoy is we are playing on my wedding anniversary. My 1 year, my first wedding anniversary. And my wife's pregnant, so granted she's not very far along, and I think that's the only reason I'm going to be able to play today, but it's been a hectic little time, right? And he's got a threatening team, so really, truth be told, I just want to catch him off guard, because looking at his team on paper, Meloetta, Tera, Meloetta, Tinkaton, Mandibuzz, Jolteon, Quillfish, Quilladin, Golurk, Cutiefly, and Tera Duocean. He's got bulk, and he's got shit that hits hard. So I feel like I just really need to catch homie off guard, and if I can do that and put myself in like a great late game win con situation with some setup threats, I think that's my best chance to win. So going into it, I do expect Golurk. Leo has relied on this thing pretty heavily this season, whether it be Scarf, whether it be Band, whether it just be Life Orb, or even Focus Sash from the rip, right? It hits hard. And Poltergeist, Dynamic Punch, No Guard is just hard to switch into, realistically. So I expect that thing. Some kind of like bulky defensive, Intimidate, Quillfish, I think is going to come. Mandibuzz, I definitely expect. I think that thing's just going to be like super defensive, physically bulky with setup threats on my side, like the Hariyama, the Feraligatr, even SD on the Talonflame or something like that. Tinkaton, I do expect some kind of like T-Wave rock set. I think the Meowth could come, probably Choice Scarf, because that would outrun like a +1 DD on Feraligatr, outrun my Talonflame if I have my Gale Wings broken, and then something like a Choice Scarf Haunter as well. And then Tera Meloetta. He's got Tera Normal, Tera Fairy, and I think Tera Ground. Maybe Tera Ground, maybe Tera Normal. I don't necessarily see the Tera Fairy, but I gotta bring stuff that can still hit it even if so. So super threatening team, just kind of bulky, but still applies a lot of offensive pressure with that Regenerator Meowth, something maybe like an AV Meloetta, and just a bunch of bitches. Truth be told, dude, a bunch of fucking bitches. So going into it, first one I'm bringing this week is my Feraligatr. That was from The Ringer. This is my Doberman candy. That's what my teeth clenched jaw thing was. So I've got Clear Amulet, Sheer Force, EQ, Ice Punch, Aqua Jet, and SD. Running Clear Amulet specifically there for the Quillfish. I wish I could do something like the DD set to try to get a jump on the Meowth or on the Meloetta. But honestly, I think if I can get my SD up, that Aqua Jet is just going to hit so hard against this team. Especially if I can get a little bit of chip damage on something like the Meloetta, a little bit of chip damage on something like the Mandibuzz. I am running the Ice Punch and a good bit of speed. I outrun like no speed invested Mandibuzz, and I think I sped grip a little bit more, as much as I felt comfortable with. But the combination of everything there, and especially if he wants to rely on like Intimidate shuffling from Quillfish, he sees I'm Clear Amulet, being able to pick that up with the EQ just could put me in a winning position. So I really like Feraligatr for late game win con. Another mon I'm bringing this week, Talonflame. basically enough speed to outrun everything on his field outside of the Jolteon, and then max special attack, because I do expect stuff like the Mandibuzz to be Fizz Def, the Tingaton to be Fizz Def, the Quillfish. If he's not AV on Mienshao, if he's just like Life Orb, being able to hit that thing, or switching rather on the special side as he tries to bring in the Quillfish, could be massive. Flamethrower, Hurricane, Air Slash, and the Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp, if he wants to bring in the Tingaton, he doesn't know if I'm physical special, he thinks I'm going for a Brave Bird. Being able to neuter that could be game changing in itself, allowing me to set up with something. And then just try to catch my opponent off guard with being special. The next one is my weakness policy for Rigaraf. Running enough speed to outrun everything on his team with the agility, including something like Choice Scarf, Golurk, or anything like that. He has so many mons to proc the weakness policy. This may be my lead, depending on what I see, because I could see something like the Knock from the Tink, Knock or U-Turn from Mienshao, Knock from Mandibuzz. Just so many little oddities that could proc my weakness policy. And +2 Hyper Voice, Thunderbolt, +6 stored power. If I can get this to pop off, the name of the game this week is just to wear my opponent's team down, right? Outspeeding everything on his field, even if he is AV on the Meloetta, right? His Tera type doesn't resist stored power, so I can get a huge chunk off on that. Something where he's forced to attack me, and then maybe pick up the KO with just regular Aqua Jet on the Feraligatr, or one of my other mons later on. And T-Bolt specifically for the Mandibuzz. Hyper Voice still is like a neutral in case he brings a Jolteon and he's Volt Absorb or anything like that. So really like Fergaraf this week, and fingers crossed, baby. Next, bring in Max Spidef, Pyapa Berry, Liquid Ooze, Tentacruel. Okay, Max Spidef, Max HP, Pyapa Berry just allows something like the Psychic or the Psyshock from Meloetta. And this essentially is my Meloetta switch in, right? In case he's AV, I've got the Acid Spray to drop his Spidef by 2. Maybe he goes for something like a Hyper Voice the first turn, just trying to scout if I am AV. And I'm hoping if he sees that I'm not AV, he wants to go for the Psychic type attack, and I can bop that thing with the Mirror Coat, or just call the Mirror Coat fucking raw and bop that dude fucking backhanded. But the Mud Shot there, especially with the Acid Spray, if he doesn't bring Tinkaton or Tinkaton's already down, doesn't want to switch into some kind of whatever attack, if I have this in against the Mandibuzz, getting a -2 on the Quillfish and then going for the Mud Shot can do a whole lot as well. And then the pump is just there in case I gotta fucking fire off pumps, you know what I'm saying? Next mon, Gligar. Okay, Gligar Yachi Berry, max attack, a lot of speed. Again, Farigiraf with the agility outsped everything, and now Gligar with the agility is gonna outspeed everything as well. I'm hoping my opponent just immediately thinks I'm going to be some kind of a Violite. So he goes for Ice Spinner because it's relatively free against my team. With Mienshao, I get the agility popped, and then I get the Yachi Berry, and then I can fire off just savagery acrobatics. Because I'm going more offensive, I went with Hyper Cutter just in case he tried to use Quillfish to Intimidate drop me. I know I'm kind of like leaving doors open, I guess is the best way to describe it for a Toxic from the Mandibuzz. But hopefully it'll be too late before he realizes that. And Stone Edge, just chipping that thing down where he goes for a Toxic, or he brings in the Quillfish and then I gotta fire off another Acrobatics or something like that. I chip down that Mandibuzz, and even if he goes for a Foul Play, right, that Stone Edge can still hit the Mandibuzz and wear stuff down. And then my final mon that I really need to break this week is going to be my Citrus Berry, Terra Steel, Belly Drum, Hariyama. My opponent has a lot of things for T-Wave. He has the Meloetta, Tinkaton, Quillfish. He has a Toxic from Mandibuzz, which I would prefer not to get, but, you know, if it's God's will, then it's fucking God's will. Who am I to choose? But if I can wear stuff down, set up a Belly Drum late game, as he tries to just get chip damage, flip turn out, try to bring in the Quillfish to intimidate me, even if I go +6 and then drop down to +5 because of the Intimidate. Terra Steel Bullet Punch is just fucking. Really no true resist on my opponent's team, right? The Mandibuzz doesn't necessarily want to take it. It can, but I got to wear that thing down first, obviously. Quillfish running max speed, so I've got the EQ and I've got the drain punch. So being able to hit that thing can be super hard, or excuse me, hopefully not as hard because I expect a fully defensive set. So really just trying to catch my opponent off guard this week. Had a short time to build, and whenever that kind of thing pops up, I just say, fuck it, HO. And that's the mindset going into this week. So I will catch you guys in the match. Peace. Alrighty, and we back, ladies and gentlemen. You got the Pokemon Professor bringing you round 1 of playoffs. Ooh, for the ICP. Feels good, man. Feels good. Okay, a lot of the stuff that we expected. There is no Go Alert, which is super dope. I love being able to get for Alligator set up and break / fucking win. And then Hariyama break / win. So this week we play 6 Foot Hacks, aka Leo, somebody that I grew up watching. So always a fun time in a boy's life to be able to whoop somebody's ass that they watched for years getting into Draft League. So good luck, have fun to the homie. Torta, hey, don't get me started on them tortas. You know I love them tortas. Okay. So he sees we're Hypercutter. Okay. He sees we're Hypercutter. I feel like you go into... You don't want to let this take damage. You don't want to let this take damage. So I'm going to go for the edge into Mandibuzz. I'm going to go for the edge into Mandibuzz. I'll bring back that torta. I love that it's in a love ball because that's what I love. Chiquita. Oh, Tinkaton, are you air balloon? Okay. Good play, good play. Hey, we land it. We land it. Ooh, are you pickpocket? Okay. Okay, Stone Edge did about 15%. So let's say you are... Ooh, I don't think I'm going to have enough to be able to get the damage off for that. I don't think I'm going to have the damage to get off for EQ to pick up the KO. And I still like Gligar to be able to set up. So I'm actually going to go hard Talonflame just in case he wants to go for something like the Ice Hammer. Okay, he does get up rocks. Does get up rocks. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go for the flamethrower, truth be told. I'm gonna get some damage off on this thing. If I can pressure this early on, that's gonna be Fuego. And yeah, that's gonna be real nice. Now he has to be worried about some kind of, okay, he does take damage. Go for the rock slide. Okay. Goes for knockoff. I'm okay with that. Gets rid of my booties. I'm gonna go for another flamethrower just because Hurricane's not doing nearly as much. SD, fucking flame charge would have been gas, but you know, I ain't got it. I ain't fucking got it. So getting up rocks isn't the worst of things. Okay, he does save this. Torta. Okay, Quillfish. Chip damage on this is honestly nice too. So Hurricane, if Hurricane does not do enough, but it gives me great damage. So I'm gonna go for the Hurricane. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the hurricane. Ha! Ha! Why would I need to go for the hurricane, huh? Huh? Oh, crazy bastard of me. Okay. It's okay. Because he may have to go Jolteon here. Sergio. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, Flame Orb. I'm just gonna go for the Flame Thrower. So we know it's Quick Feet. Okay, I'm okay with that. I would have loved to have gotten the Hurricane off on Quillfish. That would have been gas. Okay. If you go Tinkaton, I'm going Yama, and I'm gonna try to set up the B drum. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Because I really like being able to set up something like an SD with Feraligatr as he tries to go into Quillfish to maybe get the Intimidate drop. Sees that we're clear Amulet, and then Mondi. Okay, he got that buzz. Okay. I'm gonna go for Rig. +2 into Jolteon. Hyper Voice is enough for the KO. Foul Play is doing quite a bit. So is Roost. So is fucking everything else this thing wants to go for. Okay. +2, I know we don't outspeed. So I think I'm gonna fire off the... I think I'm just gonna fire off the T-Bolt. Okay, we outspeed this thing, which is nice. Ooh, that's big damage on this thing. Okay. Knock. Okay, he knows we outspeed. I don't think he wants to let this thing go down yet. Hyper Voice, if we are Tinkaton. Hyper Voice isn't doing as much as what T-Bolt would be. So I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice. But this thing being chipped down so much is massive. Chiquita. Is that Tink? Yeah. We should have enough to pick up the KO on this thing. Damn, we don't. But that's okay. That's okay, actually. Reason being is because, yeah, Gigaton Hammer. So I think this is our time to set up with Yama. Yeah, I think this is our belly drum time. Okay. We gonna learn today. We gonna learn today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we gonna learn. we gonna figure some shit out. I know that much. Okay, he stays in. The best he's got for me is Knock. I mean, he could have Play Rough, but he could have Bulldoze. I'll give him that. But we know he's Knock. We know he's Rocks. What else homeboy got for me? He goes to the Knock. Okay, I'm cool with that. We lose our Citrus. But Bullet Punch is all gas, no brakes. We do have to watch out for Rocky Helmet. Okay. So we got a Tink down. We knew Jolt, KO, Talon. We know Tink KO'd. Tink KO'd. Fucking Farig or whatever the giraffes looking motherfucker is. And then we know Yama KO'd. KO'd Tink. We are going to be +5. We got to watch out for Intimidate shuffling. But Mandibuzz doesn't want to take it. Mienshao still gets O-code. The way he's Sergio. Is that Meloetta? That's Jolt. Okay, Jolteon does not take nearly enough. It does not take enough. But honestly, I like the Bullet Punch. You Volt Switch out. Depending on what you go out into, I can play around. So I may just need to get my Bullet Punch hit damage. Yeah. Okay. Jolt KOs Yama. Okay. Okay. I knew he was going for the Volt Switch, but I couldn't go hard into Homeboy just quite yet. Mandibuzz. Yeah, because Edge didn't do enough. Okay. Now this is where I'm not entirely for sure how the fuck Mirror Coat is gonna work for it, but we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. He's maybe thinking AV. Okay. So he does Tera. Tera Fairy? Nah, you wouldn't Tera Fairy in my face. Tera normal hyper voice. Fucking hell. Hopefully we live, you know? Oh, sub. Damn. I think that may be the game. Tera normal. Whoo, hyper voices. That's fucking the game up. Yeah, I think that may be game. That may be game, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe I just had to be aggressive and go into the Gligar on the Volt Switch. Oh, we just don't. We won't fuck with that. We don't KO it like that. Yeah. Damn. Damn, huh? Yeah, and there's no way we're going to be able to out-aggressive that. Maybe that was going to be my play, and then I had to go for the agility the following play. I don't know. Him being Quick Feet sucked, because it meant my agility on Farig didn't pick up the KO, or like wasn't going to be able to outspeed. Because if he wasn't Flame Orb and he was just something like Specs, we would have been able to outspeed at +2, and they would have been in a fucking sexy ass position. He goes for +2. Yeah, it's GG's. There's nothing I can do. Because I don't think acid spray is going to lower the SPDEF of a sub, will it? Okay. I mean, we're going to go for it. He's got game once he clicks Hyper Voice. So, really no harm, no foul. Yeah. Tis okay. Yeah. That's GG's. I mean, in theory, that is GG's. Mirror Coat would break the sub, but it's not going to... there we go. I got the play right. I'm not going to be able to apply enough damage to it offensively. Damn. I think if he wasn't sub, we would have been looking pretty good too. We had the chip damage on Jolteon for +2 Aqua Jet in the back. So we were looking good, you know? We were looking good. We just have a hard time breaking through. God. Okay, I think I'm just gonna skip from here and jump towards the end. I have to crit every pump for it to break sub, offer it. And yeah, he isn't gonna let that happen. He would just keep clicking sub. So that's gonna be a GG's to my man Leo, 6 foot hacks. And I think I'm gonna fast forward it so we aren't just sitting here waiting for sub and everything. We had a good little run, we did. And okay, cool. He's just gonna attack, so no worries there. Okay. What did we make it, a 5-0? But we had great offensive pressure at the beginning. I think the Hurricane hit on Cool Fish would have made it a 4-0, right? But there is honestly nothing that we can do. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Okay, and we back. GG's, Leo. Looking at it, I mean, it was a tough team to try to go against. I think maybe the only other thing I could have done was go for Alligator and try to set up the SD on the Tinkaton in comparison to setting up my belly drum. But I didn't see another opportunity to set up a belly drum, which I ultimately was going to need, I think, truth be told. And, you know, we made it to playoffs with a pretty subpar team. We made a lot of changes at game 3 of the season. So we're going to keep our chin held high. We had a lot of fun in ICP. And with that, we made playoffs. We broke 500, right? We were 4-4 plus like 1 or 2 differentials. So we'll fucking take it, man. But with that, I love you. And I have the PPL NX coming up. So... you know, make sure to come peep everything in that way, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.